It was a day that seared itself into the memory of a nation. November 22, 1963, Dallas, Texas. The sun was bright, the crowds were cheering. A presidential motorcade was making its way through Dealey Plaza. History was about to be made, but not in the way anyone expected. Amidst the chaos and the tragedy that followed, countless cameras captured the scene, freezing moments in time. But one figure, captured in the grainy footage and photographs, stands apart. A ghost in the crowd, a woman who seems to have walked out of another time and place, wrapped in a mystery that has endured for over 60 years. We see her there, a solitary figure amidst the unfolding horror. Light brown overcoat, headscarf tied under her chin. In the style of an Eastern European grandmother, a babushka. That simple piece of clothing would give her the name she is known by today, the Babushka lady. She holds something up to her face, what appears to be a camera, pointed directly at the presidential limousine. While others ducked for cover, while panic erupted around her, she stood her ground. Calm, a silent observer to one of the most pivotal moments of the 20th century. Her story begins in the aftermath. Investigators pored over every frame of film, every photograph taken that day. She melted back into the shadows, leaving behind nothing but a name and a profound, unsettling mystery. The core of the Babushka lady's mystery isn't just that she was there. Many people were there. The Enigma is a perfect storm of strange circumstances. It's a puzzle with three key pieces: her baffling presence, her strange, unidentifiable language, her complete disappearance from the historical record. She saw everything, yet no one seems to know her. Was she ever real? Let's start with her presence. While bullets flew and chaos reigned, the Babushka lady remained standing, filming. Close, composed, unshaken. Bravery? Shock? Something else? Did she know what was coming? Decades of speculation followed. She wasn't passive, she actively documented the scene. That steadiness still puzzles historians. Then her language. Eyewitness fragments began to surface. Some said they heard her speak. English, Russian, German, any known language. Witnesses called it guttural, unfamiliar. If not a known language, where did she come from? Who was she speaking to? Finally, the vanishing act. The FBI launched an exhaustive hunt. They wanted her film badly. No paper trail, a true historical phantom. The hunt for the Babushka lady began almost immediately. The FBI, desperate for her film, put out bulletins, followed every lead they could find. They interviewed countless witnesses in Dealey Plaza that day, asking if anyone knew the woman in the headscarf. The answer was always the same: no, she was a face in the crowd, visible to everyone yet known to no one. It was a frustrating and fruitless search. The federal agents, masters of tracking people down, had met their match. They were chasing a ghost who left no footprints, a phantom who seemed to exist only in the frames of film. Eyewitness accounts, while plentiful, only added to the confusion. Descriptions of her were consistent in terms of her clothing, the overcoat, the babushka scarf. Most agreed she was middle-aged, perhaps in her 40s or 50s, but beyond that, the details become hazy. Some said she looked Eastern European, others thought she might be from somewhere else entirely. The most perplexing testimony came from those who claimed to have heard her speak. They described her words as gibberish, an unknown tongue that didn't match any dialect they had ever encountered. Over the years, several women have come forward claiming to be the Babushka lady, but each claim has fallen apart under scrutiny. The most famous was Beverly Oliver, who in 1970 claimed she was the 17-year-old girl in the photos. She said her camera was confiscated by federal agents and never returned. While her story was compelling, it was ultimately debunked, leaving the true identity of the Babushka lady as mysterious as ever. When facts are scarce, speculation runs wild. In the case of the Babushka lady, the theories are as fascinating as the mystery. They range from the plausible to the outright bizarre. The most grounded theory suggests she was a spy, calm demeanor, filming a political assassination, successful evasion of authorities, Soviet KGB agent, another foreign operative, headscarf as disguise, headscarf as signal. Another theory, a lost tourist, or an immigrant terrified to come forward. Imagine being new to a country, barely speaking the language, witness to the murder of its leader, afraid of being misunderstood, afraid of deportation, afraid of being implicated. She might never have turned over her film. She may have wanted to disappear and forget. Film left undeveloped in a drawer, a lost piece of history. Then we enter high strangeness, time traveler theory, strange language, advanced-looking camera, unnerving calmness. A historian from the future sent back. She already knew what was going to happen. She simply returned to her own time. Theories continue. Interdimensional being, alien observer, ghost caught on film. Impossible to prove, but powerful. A blank slate for our wildest ideas. Her identity remains one of history's most compelling and unsolved puzzles. Of all the strange elements surrounding the Babushka lady, the detail about her language is perhaps the most bewildering. It elevates the story from a simple historical curiosity to something deeply perplexing. According to scattered accounts from people near her in Dealey Plaza, the words she spoke were completely unintelligible. This wasn't just a case of witnesses not recognizing a specific foreign language, Polish-Hungarian. They described it as something fundamentally alien, a collection of sounds that didn't seem to follow the patterns of any known human language. This linguistic mystery has baffled experts for decades. Linguists, historians, they tried to analyze these second-hand descriptions, but it's an almost impossible task. The accounts are vague, describing her speech with words like guttural strange or simply gibberish. Without a recording, there is no data to study. Was she speaking a rare, undocumented dialect from a remote part of the world? It's possible, but unlikely that no one in a city as diverse as Dallas and no expert since could identify even the family of languages it belonged to. The investigation into her speech hit the same wall as the investigation into her identity. There was simply nothing to go on. This linguistic anomaly is a cornerstone of the more exotic theories about her. If she wasn't speaking a human language, what was she speaking? A linguistic ghost that haunts the edges of the Kennedy assassination. The story of the Babushka lady doesn't exist in a vacuum. It belongs to a special category of historical enigmas, tales of individuals who appear play a brief but significant role on the world stage and then vanish without a trace. These stories resonate because they challenge our understanding of history as a neat, orderly record. The Babushka lady is in good company. Her mystery echoes that of the man in the iron mask. Like her, he was a real person whose true story was deliberately and successfully obscured. We can also draw a parallel to the legend of D.B. Cooper. In 1971, a man hijacked a Boeing 727, extorted a huge ransom, and then parachuted into the night over the Pacific Northwest, never to be seen again. Just like the Babushka lady, he left behind a tantalizing trail of clues but no definitive answers. In an age of surveillance data and digital footprints, we like to believe that everything is knowable, that every person can be tracked and identified. The Babushka lady, D.B. Cooper and others like them stand as defiant exceptions. They prove that it is still possible to slip through the cracks, to become a ghost in the machine. More than 60 years have passed since that fateful day in Dallas, and we are no closer to knowing the truth about the Babushka lady. The trail has gone ice cold. The grainy films have been analyzed to death. Yet the questions she left behind are as compelling as ever. Who was she? Was she a secret agent, a terrified tourist, a time traveler, something else entirely? Somewhere out there a roll of film might exist that shows the assassination of a president from a clear, unobstructed vantage point. Staring at her grainy image and wondering, who were you?